If you're trying to lose weight, eat healthier, or stick to your meal prep, then I'm about to make your life a whole lot easier. I'm Amy, a nutrition coach who has lost and kept off 40 pounds of fat. In this video, I'm gonna show you how you can batch prep lean protein in just about 10 minutes of hands-on time so that you have it ready for your entire week. You can either use it to meal prep your meals for the week, or you can follow what I do, and I like to change it up, use the same base protein, and change up the other ingredients so that I never get bored of what I'm eating. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can batch prep some chicken for your meals. Now, I like to use my Instant Pot, but you can also use a crock pot. You can also bake it in the oven, though, to be honest, it kind of gets dry. I prefer like a boiling method or somewhere where it's more immersed in liquid so that it stays really moist. What we're gonna go ahead and do, again, I like to use chicken breast. You can use chicken tenders, chicken thighs, though chicken thighs do have quite a bit more fat, so it does drive up the calories. So if weight loss is your goal, you wanna opt for the chicken breast or chicken tenders. So let's go ahead and get this in the Instant Pot. We've already got our water in the bottom. You wanna do about a cup of water, and I'm just putting the last of the chicken breast in. Actually, I'm gonna turn that around so I can season the other side. And we are just seasoning it with some simple things so that we can keep it neutral for our recipes. So I'm just doing garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And you can either use chicken broth or water at the bottom. You just wanna make sure that if you are doing this in the Instant Pot that you do have liquid down there to keep from burning. And you can do it directly in the liquid. I use the little trivet here to keep it up just so it's easier to take out the chicken. But we're gonna go ahead and just get this seasoned and in the Instant Pot. So you wanna make sure that your Instant Pot is sealed. We're gonna go ahead and click manual. And if you have smaller pieces of chicken, you can do about 16 minutes. Mine are pretty thick, so I am going to do 18 to ensure they're cooked all the way through. And then just let it do its thing. So prepping that chicken literally took us, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. It was super simple. With, boiling, you could season the water a little bit. You can do it in chicken broth for some more flavor. And crock pot is the same. And I'll leave all these directions in the description below. And if you want more healthy recipes for meal prep, snacks, desserts, I do it all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything. Our chicken is ready. It just did a slow release. So for this recipe, you can either shred it up or you can chop it into cubes. Either works well for meal prep. If you're just meal prepping this, you can obviously keep the chicken breast whole as well. Now, I have a few different tools that I use for shredding. First is going to be our easiest method is one of these shredders where you literally just put the chicken in and move it back and forth and it shreds pretty quickly with pretty low effort. You can also use claws, so taking them out and shredding them with claws. This is also a great method, pretty quick. And if you don't have any of those, little more tedious, but still works, you can shred with 2 forks. And trust me, this chicken comes out so incredibly well cooked and tender for the Instant Pot. I make this all the time, and once my husband had it from the Instant Pot, he constantly requests that I always cook the chicken in the Instant Pot because it always comes out perfectly every time. And because it is in fact easiest and most efficient, I am going to use this device to shred my chicken today. And I will leave a link to this. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you this juice. I'll show you a close-up in a second. I will leave a link to this in the description, so if you wanna grab one, or the claws, it'll be real easy for you to find. Okay, just look at how juicy this is. Look at those juices. Seriously, it's so nice and tender, perfectly cooked. All right, so I'm gonna show you how easy this is. So we're just gonna put the lid on, and doesn't matter if the chicken is hot or not, and you just turn it. It should stick to your counter, and shred it up. Sometimes you got to move the pieces around a little bit, but you can see overall that's pretty well shredded. For this recipe, we're actually only going to need 4 ingredients. You'll need about 1 cup of shredded chicken. We'll need some shredded Parmesan cheese. You will need some Caesar salad dressing. Now, I actually combine these two. This one is a fat-free version, but you can see it is not like the creamy typical texture. So I'm actually going to mix it with an avocado Caesar dressing. We're also going to need lettuce, which we will freshly pick from my garden. So I absolutely love this garden. I love having fresh produce on hand whenever I want it. I love having fresh herbs. I have dill and cilantro and some basil growing here. I'm also getting parsley next. But it's been amazing because these just taste so much fresher than what you would get at the grocery store. And you can grow them year round because it's January right now. A lot of leaves still look like babies here, so look how nice. Let's go ahead and use our kitchen shears to cut our lettuce up into smaller pieces for the salad. Obviously, you can get pre-shredded as well to make this process even simpler. You can use as much or as little as you want. Only so much of it will fit on top of our chaffles. But if you want a side salad, then make a bunch so that you have a higher volume meal. And romaine lettuce is typically used. These are slightly different than romaine, but again, use what you have on hand or whatever you like the flavor of. I think it would also be really good with kale. I think Caesar salad goes, or Caesar dressing goes really well with kale. And so I would recommend probably a minimum of 2 cups, but again, you make what you want to meet your needs. Before we dress the salad, I am going to talk a little bit about each of these Caesar dressings. So as I mentioned, this one is a fat-free dressing and it is significantly lower in calories. It doesn't have any weird ingredients. The first ingredient is just water and it doesn't have as much oil like typical Caesar dressings. Now, this is an avocado oil-based Caesar dressing. It is 130 calories for the same serving size. So again, very significant difference in these, but it is made with healthy ingredients. So especially if you're not really concerned about calories, this one, it's like obviously closer to an actual, or it is an actual Caesar, whereas this is kind of watered down, if you will. So that's why I like to do a mix. We got the healthy fat from the avocado oil and the creaminess from this dressing, but we can reduce the calories by mixing it with this lower calorie version. Some other great ones are Primal Kitchen and Side Dish also have similar versions to the chosen food. And I will leave links to all of these as usual in the description so that you can browse and peruse and see if there's ones that you want for your needs. Okay, so you gotta shake these both up first. And let's start with this one. So I am going to use half a tablespoon to start. Okay, and this is like 3 calories. And then this one is going to be about 30 calories for half a tablespoon. So still, ooh, I guess I'm doing a full tablespoon of this one. And you know what? It looks like based on the amount of greens I have here, I'm gonna do another. So 1 tablespoon of each, which brings the total to, let's see, 70 calories of dressing. And obviously you can totally make your own dressing. I mean, I've never done it. It kind of looks like a complicated process. And we're all about simple on this channel. If you want more simple, high protein meals and health and weight loss tips, then if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe button. I suggest you do so because that's what we're all about here on the To Explore Wellness channel. So this looks pretty evenly dressed. All right, so we're just gonna set this to the side and then we're going to go ahead and get our chicken ready. So for 1 serving of this recipe, which is roughly 400 calories, depending on the dressing amount, and over 40 grams of protein, you're going to need 1 cup of chicken and roughly 1/3 of a cup shredded Parmesan, which is about 1 ounce. 28 grams. So we are going to be using our waffle maker for this one. If you saw the sweet potato waffle recipe, it's somewhat similar where we're going to kind of sandwich in cheese, but we are going to be using chicken instead of sweet potato. So let's go ahead and get waffling. So this 1/3 cup cheese is for 2 waffles. So we want to make a thin layer on the bottom, but making sure that we're covering. So we're using about 1/4 of this cheese. Okay, and this is again Parmesan cheese. This would be the best taste because, you know, Caesar salad and Parmesan is kind of the way to go. And then we are going to add about 1/2 cup chicken. And then just like in the other recipe, we are going to now top it with more cheese. Okay, try to spread it nice and evenly so that it gets everywhere. And then close our waffle iron. Apply some pressure. Now I have this mini waffle iron. Obviously, if you have a bigger one, you can make this in like 1 batch. So we're gonna keep this for roughly 3 minutes or so. If you have a different waffle maker, definitely keep an eye on it. Not all waffle makers waffle the same. All right, so I think it's ready. Now with this waffle maker, I like to unplug in between because otherwise it gets too hot. We are going to carefully remove our waffle. I'm not doing a very good job at this, am I? There we go. And the bottom always gets even crispier. Let's make our second one. And a little bit more about this recipe. I actually posted this on Instagram and it went viral. It was so popular and there was a lot of positive feedback. So I wanted to share it again here because it was such a loved recipe. And honestly, it's delicious, it's healthy, it's easy to make. So I think you're gonna love it too. I'm gonna do this one a little bit better. The first one, I didn't get all the edges. This is actually a little bit more than 1 cup as well. It doesn't look like I'm gonna quite fit everything, but I can always toss the rest of the chicken with the salad. And if you want even more protein than what's listed in this recipe, then you absolutely can toss some chicken in the salad, make a 1/3 waffle. These recipes I'm showing you, they're meant for you to be able to adjust so that you can meet your specific needs. Most of these recipes are just what I tend to eat in terms of portion sizes as a 5'5" woman who's like 140 pounds. I usually aim for and recommend, honestly, everyone aim for at least 30 grams of protein per meal. But again, you know, you have to determine what's gonna meet your own individual needs on your journey. And I'm happy to help with that if that's something that you need help with or feel you need help with. And let's waffle it. Both the waffles are out. Just listen to how crispy they are. They get crispier as they sit a little bit longer. So nothing left to do but to top our waffles with our salad. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it on. Not all of it will fit necessarily on top, but you can have the rest of the salad on the side or just overflow your plate completely. And of course you can top it off with a little bit of extra parm if you wish. And bon appetit. And if you haven't already checked out my other recipes in this chicken series, you need to go check them out because they are absolutely delicious. And just like this one, they are 5 ingredients or less and over 35 grams of protein a piece. They're also macro friendly, so they're lower in calories so that they are perfect for you to hit any protein, weight loss, or maintenance goals, or just overall health goals in general, because these are super nutritious. And you'll want to turn on notifications and stay tuned because next I'll be sharing some ground meat recipes in a similar series to this chicken one so that you always have delicious high protein meals ready to go that are simple to make and high in protein. I hope you love this recipe. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your support and see you next time.